Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive all about lean thinking. And this one is especially for all you entrepreneurs out there who are just starting out
Yeah, that's right. It's really a powerful set of
to make
tools.
your business awesome
Right. To build a business that can really thrive and
and last
right.
and last.
And I like to think of it this way. You know those books that you see that end up getting shredded because no one bought them?
Oh yeah,
That's wasted resources. And lean thinking is all about avoiding that.
exactly. Yeah. So lean thinking, it actually comes from the Toyota production system, which was a way to revolutionize making things.
Oh, wow.
The cool thing is it's not just for factories anymore. So whether you're like a tech startup or you're opening up a coffee shop,
Hmm.
these principles can really help you.
Okay, so how does lean thinking actually work? Like, give me a real world example.
Okay, imagine like an airline that is absolutely obsessed with getting the most out of their planes.
Okay.
So they cram in as many seats as possible. They're saving every last drop of fuel.
Sounds pretty efficient. It sounds efficient, right?
Yeah.
But they've kind of missed the forest for the trees, so they haven't thought about the customer, what the customer actually wants. So they might have long security lines, cramped seats, delayed flights.
Yeah, no one wants that.
That's not what people are picturing when they think about travel, right?
So they focused on one type of efficiency and they create a bunch of problems elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So lean thinking would make them zoom out and see the whole picture
Uh-huh.
from the customer's point of view and try to smooth out those pain points and create something that people actually value.
Okay, that makes sense for an airline, but I'm building a construction company.
Okay.
So what's in it for me?
Let's say you're building a house, but the subcontractors aren't coordinated. So they show up at different times, there's delays and rework, the home buyers get frustrated.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
That's a classic example of muda, or waste in lean thinking.
Muda.
Yeah.
So like wasted time, wasted materials, because things are disorganized.
Yeah, it's any activity that uses up resources but doesn't actually add value for the customer.
Mm.
And there are 8 types of muda that are common in businesses.
8. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. But I think for someone just starting out,
Yeah.
the most important ones to be aware of are probably overproduction, waiting, and defects.
Okay, so overproduction is like if I order way too much lumber and it just sits around.
Exactly. Or if you print thousands of flyers before you even know if people actually want what you're offering.
Oh, okay.
That's wasted money and resources.
Right, makes sense. And waiting, that's like my subcontractors not showing up on time or waiting for permits to get approved.
Yeah, anytime your resources are idle because a process is stalled, that's waiting meter.
Oh, okay.
And it can be a killer for a new business.
Definitely. And defects, I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah,
Like a leaky roof that needs to be fixed.
right. Defects mean redoing work, which wastes time and money.
And it's not good for your reputation either.
Not good for your reputation, exactly.
Yeah.
So you'll want to put quality control measures in place right from the beginning.
So it sounds like step 1 is I need to put on my muda goggles
I love that. Yeah.
and see where these types of waste are in my business plan.
Yeah. Once you've identified the muda, you can start thinking about how to eliminate it.
Uh-huh.
That's where the 5 principles of lean thinking come in.
Okay, lay them on me.
Okay, the first one is value. This one might seem kind of obvious,
All right.
but it's crucial to really understand what your customer values. And remember, it's their definition of value that matters, not yours.
So for my construction business, it's not just about building a solid house.
All right.
It's about the whole experience of working with me.
Exactly.
Okay. It's about communication, transparency, keeping the client informed every step of the way.
Got it.
That peace of mind and feeling valued can be just as important as the physical building itself.
Okay, so once I know what my clients really want, what's next?
The second principle is the value stream. So picture mapping out every single step.
Involved in delivering that value to the customer. So from the first client meeting to handing over the keys to that finished house.
So kind of like a super detailed flow chart.
Yes, and by visualizing every step, you can see where there might be bottlenecks or unnecessary steps. And this is where the can of cola example becomes really interesting.
Wait, a can of cola, what does that have to do with building houses?
Okay, so think about all the steps it takes to get that can of cola to the store shelf.
Okay.
You have to mine the aluminum, ship it across the ocean, process it, shape the cans, fill them with cola,
Oh, wow.
more shipping, and then finally gets to the Souch store, and the whole process can take like 319 days.
319 days for one can of cola.
It's kind of amazing, and it's a great illustration of a value stream.
Right.
So imagine if you could map out every single step in your construction process like that.
Okay.
You'd be able to identify any inefficiencies or areas where things get stuck.
Yeah, that would be super helpful to
Right.
see it all laid out.
Yep.
So once I've mapped out my value stream,
Okay.
how do I actually start making things more efficient?
That brings us to the third principle, flow.
Right.
Think of it like designing a river. You want to remove the rocks and debris so the water flows smoothly.
Uh-huh.
You want to eliminate any bottlenecks or delays in your process.
So in my case, that might be having a really clear system for scheduling subcontractors or streamlining the permit approval process.
Exactly. It's about making sure everything moves smoothly from one step to the next without any unnecessary stops or starts.
All right. Value stream flow.
Okay.
What's next?
The fourth principle is pull.
Pull. Okay.
This one is about aligning your production with actual customer demand. So it means making things only when they're needed rather than building up a huge inventory that might never be used.
So instead of buying a ton of lumber, just in case I should wait until I have a specific project
Yeah,
and order exactly what I need.
that's a great example. That way you avoid tying up your cash in inventory that you don't need,
Right.
and you reduce the risk of materials going to waste.
It's about being responsive to customer needs,
Yeah.
not just trying to, predict the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, pull makes sense. So that brings us to the last principle, right?
Right. The fifth principle is perfection.
Perfection.
Yeah.
Isn't that setting the bar a little high, especially when I'm just getting started?
Yeah, it's not about achieving absolute flawlessness overnight,
Okay.
but it's about constantly striving to improve. It's about creating a culture where you and your team are always looking for ways to do things better, to eliminate waste, and to deliver more value.
So it's more like a mindset than like an actual achievable goal.
Exactly, yeah. Think of it as an ongoing journey, always looking for ways to refine your process and get closer to that ideal of perfection.
All right. I'm starting to get a handle on these principles, but
Yeah.
taking them from theory to action still feels a bit daunting.
Okay.
Where do I even begin?
That's a great question, and that's what we'll dive into next. What's really cool is that lean thinking isn't just like some abstract idea.
Right.
It's a set of practical steps you can take to make your business better, and you can do that right from the start.
All right. So let's talk action. What's step one?
Okay, so
Huh?
you need to find your change agent, and this is the person in your business, maybe it's you,
Okay.
who is totally committed to making lean thinking happen.
Okay.
They need to have that vision, the energy to lead the way.
So they're like the lean champion,
Yes.
making sure everyone's on board.
Exactly. Think about Art Byrne.
Okay.
He joined the struggling company called Wiremold,
Yeah.
and he became their change agent, and he had that lean mindset. He got everybody excited about it,
Wow.
led them through a huge turnaround.
So important leadership.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even the best leader needs some support, right?
Absolutely. And that's where a sensei comes in.
Right.
This is like your lean mentor, someone with experience who can guide you through the process.
So someone who's been there, done that, can help me avoid the common pitfalls.
Exactly. Give you that practical advice. Help you tailor lean thinking to your specific business.
Got it. Find a change agent, get a sensei. What's next?
Okay, this may sound a little strange, but you need to start with a crisis.
A crisis?
Yeah, or if you don't have a real crisis, create one.
Wait, create a crisis. Why would I want to do that?
Because a sense of urgency can be a really powerful motivator.
Great.
So when people feel like things have to change, they're more open to new ideas and they're willing to put in the extra effort.
Okay, so I'm like harnessing that energy to
Yeah.
drive positive change.
Exactly. So for example, Doyle Wilson, a home builder, he was already successful.
Okay.
But he saw that he was missing out on a huge opportunity by not catering to people who wanted to buy used homes.
Okay.
They treated that as his crisis. And he used it to expand his business.
So he used that sense of urgency
Yeah.
to push himself and his company to innovate.
Exactly. It forced them to rethink their approach, explore new possibilities.
Okay, so once I have that sense of urgency, it's time to remind me what it's called.
Map your value stream.
Map my value stream, right?
You talked about that earlier.
Yeah, that detailed flowchart where I map out every single step in my process.
Yes, but now you're going deeper, analyzing each step.
Right.
Really looking for sources of waste and don't rely on assumptions. Go to the Gemba, the actual place where the work happens.
Gemba. All right, another lean term.
I know, there's a lot of them.
So I go out in the field, I
Yeah.
observe, I talk to my team, I really understand how things are working.
Exactly. You got to get out of the office,
Yeah.
see the reality of your process firsthand.
Love it.
Right.
All right, I'm ready to see the Gemba, but I have several different, like, services
Yeah.
in my construction company.
Yeah.
So where do I even start?
So choose one specific service
Okay.
as your target product family
Okay.
to pilot your lean transformation.
So this is like my test case
Yeah.
to get some early wins.
Yes.
Build some momentum.
Exactly. So Landtech, they make packaging machines.
Okay.
They focused on their most popular machine first, mapped the value stream, implemented the lean principles. They went from taking 16 weeks to deliver a machine to just 14 hours.
14 hours. That's incredible.
It's pretty amazing.
All right. I've mapped my value stream, chosen my target service. What's next?
It's time to create flow.
Okay.
Remember that river analogy? You want to eliminate anything that disrupts that smooth movement of value?
Yeah.
So that might mean reorganizing your workspace, rearranging your process, anything to remove those bottlenecks.
So I'm really looking to make the whole process as streamlined as possible.
Yes. So Wiremold,
Okay.
they got rid of their traditional departments and they reorganized around product families.
Oh.
They brought all the people that worked on a specific product together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after creating flow,
Okay.
what's next?
Now you implement pull.
Right.
Remember, this is about producing things only when they're needed. You're shifting away from big batches and long lead times and becoming more responsive to what your customer actually needs.
So I'm not trying to anticipate demand.
Right.
I'm reacting to it, like in real time.
Precisely. And a simple tool to help with this is called Kanban.
Okay.
It's a visual system that signals when it's time to replenish materials or start a new project based on customer orders.
Not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've created flow, we've implemented pull.
All right.
What's next?
This one is crucial. Empower your people.
Okay.
Lean thinking isn't about dictating from the top down.
Right.
It's about creating a culture where everyone is involved in problem solving and continuous improvement.
So I need to give my team the tools and the authority to, like, find and eliminate waste themselves.
Exactly. And you need to create a safe environment where they feel comfortable speaking up and suggesting ideas.
Yeah, because in a lot of companies, that's not really the case.
Yeah, and you have to see mistakes as learning opportunities, not something to be punished.
So it's a big shift.
Yeah, it is.
For a lot of companies.
It is, but it's really important.
Yeah.
And, you know, you need to encourage that don't be afraid to fail attitude.
Yeah, so many people are afraid to fail.
Yeah, right. So let people know it's okay to try new things. Even if they don't always work out, learning and growth often come from those moments where we stumble.
Okay, so it's about creating that culture.
Yeah.
Where people feel supported to take risks.
Yes, and when things do go well, you need to celebrate successes.
Okay.
Recognizing and rewarding progress, both big and small.
Yeah, get that momentum going.
Exactly.
And so it's like acknowledging those wins and using them to encourage further improvement.
Exactly. It creates that positive feedback loop where people see their efforts making a difference.
Right.
And that encourages them to keep going.
Makes sense. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle, right?
There is one more piece.
Okay, I'm ready. What is it?
It's all about using the right tools and techniques to make implementing lean thinking easier.
Okay.
And to help you measure your progress.
All right, let's talk tools and techniques.
Okay.
What are some things that can help me put lean thinking into practice?
Okay.
And track my progress?
Well, we've already talked about value stream mapping, right? That visual representation of your process.
Yeah, like my lean blueprint shows me where the bottlenecks are.
Exactly.
Okay.
And once you've identified those areas for improvement, that's where Kaizen comes in.
Okay, Kaizen.
It's a Japanese word. It means continuous improvement.
So it's about constantly looking for ways to make things just a little bit better.
Yes.
Even if they're just small tweaks.
Yeah, small tweaks. Yeah. It's like compound interest. Over time, those small improvements add up to make a big difference.
I like that analogy, compound interest. And the best part is anyone can be involved in Kaizen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you give me an example of how a company might use Kaizen?
Think about Toyota.
Right.
They're already known for having this incredibly efficient production system.
Right. Right.
But they never stop looking for ways to improve. So they empower all their employees to find and eliminate waste.
Wow.
They're always striving to get a little bit better every single day.
Even a company like Toyota is still constantly doing Kaizen.
Exactly.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Shows that lean thinking is really a journey, not a destination.
It is.
Okay, Kaizen makes sense. What other lean techniques should I know about?
Okay, so sometimes you need to make bigger changes,
Okay.
and that's where Kaikaku comes in.
Kaikaku, all right.
This is about radical, transformative improvement.
So if Kaizen is like fine-tuning the engine,
Yeah,
Kaikaku is a complete engine overhaul.
exactly.
I-
It's like recognizing that something's fundamentally broken,
Uh-huh.
and it needs to be redesigned from the ground up.
Can you give me a real-world example?
Yeah, so Pratt Whitney, they make aircraft engines. They had this really complicated process for grinding blades. It was slow, inefficient, created a lot of waste.
No.
So they did a total kaikaku.
Okay.
They scrapped that whole system
Wow.
and invested in a brand new process that was way faster, more accurate, and produced a lot less waste.
Sometimes you need to make those big, bold moves
They do.
to get the breakthrough results.
Sometimes the small tweaks aren't enough.
Right, exactly. Okay, so we talked about Kaizen, Kaikaku.
Okay,
What else?
now let's talk about tact time.
Take time, okay.
This is basically the heartbeat of your lean system.
All right.
It's the rhythm that keeps your production in sync with customer demand.
So it's about making sure I'm producing things at the right pace
Yes.
to meet customer orders
Yeah.
without creating like a backlog or
Yeah.
overproducing.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot
Right.
where you're efficiently meeting customer needs without building up a ton of extra inventory.
Makes sense. Any other techniques?
Yeah, there's target costing, and it's a way to design and produce things so they're valuable to the customer, but also profitable for you.
So it's like figuring out how to keep my costs low enough
Yes.
that I can still make a profit, but also deliver something awesome that customers will actually pay for.
Precisely.
Hmm.
It flips that traditional pricing model on its head.
Right. Because usually you start with your costs.
Yeah.
Add a markup. But you're saying do it the other way around.
Yeah, you start with what the customer is willing to pay
Okay.
and figure out how to make it for that amount.
Target costing, check.
Yes,
And we already talked about Kanban,
we did.
that visual system
Yeah.
for implementing pull.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Those are just some of the key tools and techniques that you can use
Uh-huh.
to bring lean thinking to life in your business.
Wow. This has been a really great deep dive.
Yeah.
Lean thinking just seems like such a powerful framework for any new business.
It is.
What's the one key takeaway you want me to remember as I start putting this into practice?
Remember, lean thinking is about delivering maximum value to your customer while minimizing waste. It's about creating that culture of continuous improvement
Right.
where everyone's involved in finding ways to do things better.
I love that.
And it's a journey, not a destination, but it's something you can start doing right now,
Awesome.
no matter how small your business is.
That's really inspiring.
Good.
Where can our listeners go to learn more about lean thinking and keep going on their lean journey?
I always recommend the book Lean Thinking
Okay.
by James P. Womack and Daniel T. Jones.
Lean thinking. Got it.
Yeah, it really lays out the principles clearly.
Okay. Awesome. Any other resources?
The Lean Enterprise Institute
Okay.
and the Lean Enterprise Academy.
Got it.
They both have workshops, training programs, tons of online materials.
Fantastic. I'll be sure to check those out.
Cool.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
Here's a question for you to consider.
Okay.
If you could eliminate just one type of waste in your business right now, which one would it be? And what impact would that have on your customer and on your bottom line?
That's a great question to ponder.
It is.
Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into lean thinking.
My pleasure.
And remember, the best time to start your lean journey is right now.
Yes.
See you next time.